The eSafety Commission, affectionately nicknamed the E-Karen's Office by free speech activists, has had yet another legal loss this year. That's 3 losses and only 1 win, I think. It was defeated in the Billboard Chris case that we talked about on the show previously, and it backed down in its own action in the federal court against X and Elon Musk. This time, the Administrative Review Tribunal has ruled against the Commission in an action brought by the Free Speech Union of Australia. This win should have got much more media coverage than it did, so we're going to bring it to you. The Free Speech Union is doing great work to protect free speech in this country by really holding this very unpopular government commission to account in a way that neither the government nor the opposition seem to be prepared to do. I really think it's worth supporting the FSU's work. You can find them by just searching up Free Speech Union Australia. As we know, the eSafety Commission attempts to police online content by using its powers against social media companies to put pressure on them to remove the stuff that they don't like. They don't seem to ever want to talk about the free speech implications of that power they wield. They see themselves as keeping us all safe and keeping the kids safe. And our major political parties, both of them, seem to also think that there's nothing to worry about. I mean, there's no way these powers impose massive fines on social media companies could in any way ever lead to anything bad happening, right? But people who care and understand how precious and delicate free speech actually is in the world and want to protect it in Australia, they see things otherwise. Even the threat hanging over a social media company's head of a massive fine from a troublesome government regulator in a small country down under can cause them to tweak their algorithms ever so slightly in ways that mean that if we, on this show, for example, talk about certain subjects that the government doesn't like, or that the social media companies even think might upset the government ever so slightly, then our videos will be throttled or demonetized or even banned. And if that happens enough times, our whole channels can be banned, and years of hard work goes down the drain with zero legal recourse. YouTube doesn't owe me any access to their platform. So then we have to start self-censoring, and the meddling bureaucrats in the eSafety Commission have already won the political game before it even starts. They don't have to directly come after us. The social media companies will do their dirty work for them so that they don't come after them. That's really why I think the Labor government and the Liberal Party are both very happy for the E-Karens to remain. Anyway, joining me from Melbourne to discuss all of this and the implications of the latest ruling against eSafety is Reuben Kirkham, the founder and director of the Free Speech Union of Australia. Reuben, thanks for joining us on the other side. This is a very technical case, but in simple terms, just take us through it. Start at the beginning. You filed this case against the Commissioner. Why was that? Had she made a ruling against you? Or?
No, we decided we wanted to test her scheme from the point of view of being a complainant. And this is like the whole rationale of her scheme, right? It's protecting the vulnerable. It's protecting, apparently, people who've been subject to the worst kind of abuse. And the eSafety Commissioner decided to go to Washington, D.C. on your money, on taxpayers' money, probably on a business class flight, and start spreading conspiracy theories about the Free Speech Union of Australia in some sort of weird rant about our legal cases. And apparently we were some sort of front group for Elon Musk. I wish we were, but unfortunately...
Yeah, you'd have a lot more... I was just saying, I get that all the time, right? It's like, if you say anything positive about Israel, 500 people will put a quote in saying that I'm paid for by the Jewish lobby. If I defend the gas industry, it's like, oh no, you're paid for by the gas lobby. It's like, no, all of our opinions are our own. You've got your positions on things and you are not funded by Elon Musk, sadly. But she was saying that you were. And I think it's kind of clever of you, therefore, to use her own power and rules and regulations against her, right? You turned it around on her. I just want to play the video clip from Milk Bar TV. Nathan Livingston did a great job of just clipping this recently on Twitter. Let's just have a look at this clip of the eSafety Commissioner attacking the Free Speech Union of Australia. Play that one, John.
There are front groups. One is called the Free Speech Union of Australia, and they've run a campaign to increase the number of FOIs by 3,000%. And they're very open about, let's just tie them up in knots.
Okay, tie them up in knots. Are you trying to tie her up in knots?
No, she does that well enough herself already. What happened was last year, we found out from a federal court filing that she'd been hoovering up everyone's social media data who'd criticised her. So we
Wow.
made a simple web form so people could find out if she was actually indeed spying on people. And that would take only 5 minutes to respond to if she wasn't. The problem was that she was actually keeping ridiculous amounts of records on people. There's one Australian lawyer who she had 14,000 pages on, and the eSafety Commissioner says, we've got so much information, it's too much work to give it to you. We had a similar response. It was 4,000 pages they had in this, and it's like, why? Why are you keeping all this information? So that is how this came about. It wasn't to do a denial of service attack on our office using freedom of information requests.
So
It was
surprise, surprise. She can't be that office can't be trusted. That they are doing these things. Then when you complained about those comments that she made, you used her regulations to complain in the Administrative Review Tribunal that what she said there was a form of online abuse of you. You then asked her. First of all, she said the ruling was that it wasn't abuse, right? And then you asked her to provide the reasons in writing for why she made the decision it wasn't abuse, and they refused. And that's why you took the action. Is that right?
Yes, that's how you go to the tribunal. So the first step is you have to complain to her office under the cyber abuse scheme. And if she says no, what she's supposed to do is tell you about your appeal rights. Now, she never does. So these 10,000 people who make complaints, most of them are abuse victims, most of them being completely fobbed off. She actually processes very few complaints. It tends to be the pronoun cases, the political cases that seem to end up with notices of some kind being issued. But she also says in those cases, which is a different story, that they're not notices either. So according to her, she never actually makes a decision, or nearly never makes a decision. I think she makes a decision about 20 times a year, something like that. And apparently only the decisions she makes 20 times, but those 20 decisions can be appealed according to her, which the tribunal, again, was very unimpressed by. This is not the first
Yeah,
time.
so I want to get to the tribunal's findings. Before we do that, though, it's taxpayers, right, that have got to foot the bill for all of this legal back and forth. I want to just show this quick tender notice that was online when they were trying to hire a lawyer. They can put that up now, John. $20,000 of taxpayers' money. You can see there. This was the contract that they were tendering out for legal services to challenge advice and representation for Kirkham and in the Administrative Appeals Tribunal. So Kirkham is you. This is the legal money that they were putting out to or the tender they were putting out to get a lawyer to help them. So again, taxpayers' money going into this. I might say well spent in this case, because let's have a look now at the ruling from the Deputy President, Britton Jones, who said that eSafety did refuse to give a removal notice. She had said that she hadn't refused. eSafety must provide the reasons for doing so within 20 days. She said that they didn't have to provide the reasons. The Deputy President also said that eSafety's position would be a very odd result. So the point of view they had and what they were saying would be very odd, and it would deny complainants' rights. That was a pretty severe slapdown. And also, the Deputy President said that eSafety's case had an air of artificiality and impracticality about it. So that's a pretty strongly worded ruling against the eSafety Commission there from the Administrative Review Tribunal. Reuben, tell us a little bit more about that air of artificiality and impracticality line.
Well, that was about the process she used to process complaints. Apparently, she was doing it in two stages. The first was whether she would consider it met a threshold of cyber abuse. And the second was, if it was cyber abuse, whether or not she should remove it. Apparently, because if she decided something wasn't cyber abuse, then she had no duty to act. And of course, whenever she didn't want to act, she decided it wasn't cyber abuse. Therefore, you could never appeal her decision to the tribunal. That was, in theory, how she was working. Now, of course, in practice, all they're doing is going, oh, I think this should be taken down. Can we find a way to take it down? If we can't find a legal way to do it, we'll send an informal notice. And apparently she only finds a legal basis to take things down, like for a tiny fraction of the adult cyber abuse complaints that are made. The other time she thinks it should be taken down if it's got the wrong political content, for example, if it misgenders someone apparently. That's very important to people in her office, and they will send these informal notices, which are now no more than, dear tech company, this may be against your terms of service. Please consider taking this down. And there was another decision called Baumgarten, which caused her to rewrite these notices. So they are basically completely ineffectual. Which she's also appealing to the federal court, I believe she's appealing with another bunch of expensive lawyers. We haven't seen the tender notice for that.
All right. Well, look, I mean, I think the work you're doing is fantastic. The Free Speech Union of Australia, people can get onto it and support you. I'm sure the Administrative Review Tribunal isn't happy with the mockery that the eSafety Commission seems to be making of their approach to things, it would appear. By the way, the Administrative Review Tribunal is relatively new. It was launched in October last year, and it replaces the old Administrative Appeals Tribunal, which was criticised for political appointments and inconsistency, and the government turned it into the Administrative Review Tribunal to improve its independence, transparency and timeliness, and it seems to be doing a good job at the moment. You've got a petition running, Reuben, as well. EndESafety.au. EndESafety.au. People can go on there. They can sign your petition, and that will help out as well. Thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate you joining us. I want you to stick around because I want to talk to you in a moment about the Giggle versus Tickle case, which I think is pretty important. So we'll be back with Reuben Kirkham in just a moment. Did you know that with a virtual private network or VPN on your computer, tablet or phone, you can log into your favorite streaming services like Netflix from home with an internet address from anywhere in the world and watch all the shows that they offer in other countries, including stuff in different languages? And using a VPN to route all your internet traffic through a third-party server means that big corporations and big government can't spy on you. If you sign up now with private internet access, we think they're the best VPN servers out there. As a viewer of The Other Side, you can get 83% off the price of your subscription and get online for less than $3 a month. Check it out right now. Go to piavpn.com/otherside. That's piavpn.com/otherside. It's a great service, a rock bottom price, and supporting our sponsor, you are helping to keep The Other Side going and growing. That was a segment clip from our weekly Friday night news show, The Other Side, which you can watch in full by simply going to YouTube and searching up The Other Side Australia. Then you'll find our full shows playlist. You can also find all of our full shows and our segments on our own website, othersidetv.com.au. That's othersidetv.com.au. Help us build a whole new Aussie media by joining us over there and signing up for the exclusive side.